Hey everyone, good morning. Happy Friday, March 18th. Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Drop-In Morning Show with the Teach Better team, where we are live every single morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern. We are currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And shout out to those of you who are listening after the fact on the Teach Better Talk podcast. We are so excited to dive into this. I need to take a few more sips of coffee before we get started here. So we're going to play this little commercial thing, and then we're going to be on track. So please go fill up your coffee, take a few good sips for yourself, and we'll be right back. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Hey, Brad, how you doing?
Hey, Ray, good morning to you. Happy Friday to you. All is well over here. And how about you in your part of the world?
It is good. It was one of those days where it was so nice out yesterday that we had all the windows open and, really just enjoying the weather. But then I woke up with like a sniffles. I'm like, okay, I think that's because I slept with the windows open. Maybe that's why.
Are you sensitive to pollen and other allergens? All right.
Let's go with yes for today, but no, I wouldn't normally think so. But I like that.
Maybe it's a touch of spring fever. You never know.
It must be. Yeah. I like that sweatshirt. Look at that Teach Better team sweatshirt right there.
Oh,
love it.
Proud member of the Teach Better team. And this hoodie, as Jeff Gargas has said many times, is super cozy. Super cozy. A great way to ease into a Monday morning with just the warmth of the Teach Better team surrounding me. And of course, your company is not too shabby.
I will say, Brad, that design was exclusive to our internal team. I think it's about time that we need to offer that up to everybody. Those were such good classic designs by the one and only Joshua Stamper. I think we need to embrace those a little bit, share those out. Maybe with our community, we'll do like a limited time only. They can get those like exclusive team ones because they're pretty classy. I like that design.
They really are. And the birthday swag in the store is really cool too. There's the one that you've been talking about with the green cake, which is perfect for our 7th birthday coming up next week, but also appropriate to wear for any birthday celebration, birthday better. And then there's the ones that are like the throwback phys ed uniforms love those.
Yes, that was, like literally Jeff and Josh collaborated so much on wanting to offer some fun swag for the Teach Better birthday next week. And I love that the two designs are completely different. Like depending on the type of vibe you're looking for your next swag item, definitely go see all those details. You can see that all linked, obviously in our swag store, but if you just go to teachbetter.com/happy birthday, you can see everything. So if you friends are looking for your next swag item and or looking for our plans for all of us to celebrate the Teach Better 7th birthday.
Yeah, who couldn't use an extra slice of cake or celebration in their life? And we've got some friends celebrating with us bright and early on a Friday morning. Good morning to Nikki and Adam and Bree and Holly in the comments. This is amazing. This is just the wake-up call that Ray and I need to make sure that we're reaching you, and we appreciate your reach back.
So important. Brad, how was your week? I feel like we have not gotten to interact too much. It's Friday. Anything special going on? How's life?
Yeah, good work. Good week. Good work too, Ray, but good week, and life is good. Spring break here in Southern Ontario. We had a staycation. Each of our days was planned around a Disney movie. So we had a Disney themed day with Disney food and drink. Yesterday was Hawaiian Day. So we had poke bowls for lunch. We sipped on Blue Hawaiians, and we had Hawaiian pizza for supper, along with the film Moana, which is a good one to rewatch.
Really I remember this now, Brad. Oh my gosh, what a great way to spend last week, like this whole week. That sounds like, will you continue that through the weekend, or is today the last day? How's that work?
Yeah, today. Well, all through the weekend, Ray. We've got some Japanese cuisine along with Big Hero 6 set up for today, and then Sunday is Luca, along with some Italian cuisine and drinks too. So normally we'd have a Disney vacation over spring break, but we haven't done that since the pandemic. So we're just trying to keep the celebration alive here at home.
Can I ask a personal request?
Sure can.
Brad, I would love to see a blog on this. Like, how to spring break without spring breaking. Like this is, I want to hear about like your plan for all 7 days. I don't know if you came up with them or if you found a blog that maybe gave you some insight on what to do, but I would love to see like 7 day Disney vacation from home. Like that would be so fun.
That's a great idea. The insight comes from my wife Jennifer, who is the master vacation planner, but also I think is a master celebration at home, a staycation planner. So she planned each day and has done so for this year and the year before. So yeah, no insight on my part other than just sharing her great plans.
I love it. No, why not share our great plans with our community? Maybe, some people have experienced spring break. Some people have not. It's in a few weeks, or maybe today is even your last day and you're headed into spring break this coming weekend. So I feel like this could be a really beneficial blog. And obviously, we're not sure when it's going to be published, so they can always reach out to you, direct messages for details. But I love this idea, Brad. That like, oh, it brings a smile to my face just to think about.
It brought a smile to our face this week too. My kids are both at university and both at school and at work. So we had kids in and out of our days and evenings celebrating with us this week too. It is challenging, and I mean I want to speak from a point of privilege here that we have the privilege and the opportunity of that spring break, as educators away from work. But it also can be challenging to set work completely aside because there's all sorts of pings and messages and things that you're sort of still thinking about. We're going into a really big change back to school in Ontario with the lifting of mask mandates, right? And some direction, not just suggestion, but direction to Ontario schools to attempt to uh, have a more regular school experience for our kids, which I think is very, very welcome. But along with that comes a lot of logistics, a lot of planning. There's going to be an intense interest in having these things taken care of quickly and immediately. But having been away from work, it's going to take a really deliberate and a patient approach. So that's what I'm kind of navigating internally is how to help staff members and kids return to school next week with clear direction, but also permission to let it unfold as it will.
Yeah, Brad, I'm not sure how much you want to dive into this, but I had a really interesting dialogue yesterday with a educator I so admire and love, and I'm so glad that we were able to catch up via Zoom. But there was they were sharing frustration about some administrative leadership choices that they weren't agreeing with in their building. And I really want to give just a little reminder for all of our educators out there, regardless of your educator role. Our administrators are lifting a lot more weight than I think we're giving them credit for. I know that's a big statement that may not apply to everybody, but as we all enjoy spring break or upcoming opportunities to kind of disconnect, I am very rarely seeing the opportunity for our administrative leaders to be able to disconnect. It seems like every moment that we can say, "Oh, I'm going to take today off and maybe get some relaxation with my family in," there's a new mandate about something that is happening in the world that needs attention. So just a little Friday morning reminder to remember to give some grace to our administrative leaders. And Brad, I know that not only are you working in that capacity, but you and I recorded a course this week, so I know you were working this week.
It was definitely a work week. What a pleasure to record that course with you, Rae. And that I think that course is going to drop sometime in April, if I'm remembering right,
It
in our
will, yeah.
academy. And huge thanks and appreciation to Andrea in our comments and on our team this morning for just a masterful way of orchestrating course creation and development. There's both internal and external accountability, and there's just striving to make sure that what we're putting out there is meeting our learners' needs. So, great opportunity for me and for us, Rae, to work together, and really grateful for your leadership and support in that.
No, I mean, it was so fun to be able to work on it. And yeah, the Teach Better team is able to release a course about every 30 days. It's like the third week of every month. But I will give a little spoiler that we have two courses coming out in the month of April or the month of March. So we still have one course releasing before you and I get to release that course. But I'm very excited for people to see that April opportunity. It should be
Well,
fun.
that most recent release, Rae, with you and Andrea about sharing your voice, preparing for conferences, also really helpful just to give people the permission and encouragement to share their voice in whatever space they may be in, whether it's a school space, a neighborhood space, or maybe in community leadership space. If you're a volunteer, many educators are volunteers, family members, in whatever space you're working. It doesn't have to be a national conference stage. It's just essential that you identify what might be holding you back from sharing those aha moments and sharing your expertise. Everyone has a story to tell, Ray. And what we find is that it's connecting through those stories that provide both reassurance for people experiencing challenging times and also encouragement for people who are looking to overcome them.
Yeah. Oh, such good things. I can't believe that was this week. That feels like that course has been out for ages because we've been talking about it so much. But I have enjoyed. I've gotten some direct messages, some emails of people who have taken the course and are looking for feedback, which is the whole point. I mean, Andrea, who was the brain of this incredible course that just came out, was just so wonderful and not only sharing her insight, but also being committed to wanting educators to truly get feedback about their experiences. And so I love that educators are taking the opportunity to like get feedback on their proposals. It's so fun. I can't wait to not only see them in the Teach Better conference, but be able to experience them at other events as well.
One thing that really resonates with me about that approach, Ray, is that there's encouragement from without and from within to share those stories. Often, if we're considering sharing the story, and we know we might be disinhibited from doing so for many, many reasons, one of the reasons is time and energy. And that kind of a course really provides the structure and the encouragement that says, yeah, you've got a story to tell, you've got an experience to share, and it's needed. And it's really also cool coming from an operation like Teach Better Team, where we're looking ahead to our conference in October. So we're looking to attract the best stories to share with some of the best people in the business. And so why not provide the support for people to do that? Peel the mystery back, Ray, like peeling back the mystery of what it takes to create a winning proposal and create a winning presentation. There doesn't need to be any mystery about it. We want to actually open those doors to people. And that course does just that. So hats off to you and Andrea.
So fun. Yeah, I'm excited for all that to happen. And I don't know if you caught the live yesterday. Katie Miglin was live with Michael Jennings, who was just announced as a featured speaker at our event. And he's a perfect example of somebody that I don't know that Michael speaks professionally too frequently. That's not really his role. He does incredible things, but gosh, I mean, what an incredible educator to learn from. Therefore, needing him at that conference was essential. Like, I'm very excited for us to feature all different types of speakers at especially the Teach Better conference, but I would like to see that, universally. But whether somebody has spoken a million times at an event or this is their first time presenting, like, that's why the course exists. We want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to share their voice. It should be really fun.
And the truth of the matter is, Ray, whether you're presenting on a stage or whether you're taking part in a networking event before or after these keynotes, it's all about those conversations and those connections. You never know who you might be speaking with, where you walk away with a game changing idea or a deeper understanding of some of the challenges and some of the opportunities that you have, or just admiration for people doing great work in the field. So, again, it doesn't have to be on a stage, it can also be with a cup of coffee or a drink in your hand and relaxing and relating and connecting. It's what it's all about.
Mm, I love this. See, it was a good week for you. You did work a lot. Yeah.
It was a
Okay.
good week, really good week.
Good. Good to hear it. I had a good week too. I loved being able to obviously work on that course with you and catch up on a few projects. I'm excited to see some Teach Better Team family members all around the Chicagoland area. There's a little bit of a get together at an education conference. Shout out to ASCD, who's doing great work to put together incredible events for educators. And we have a little bit of a Teach Better community headed that way. So tonight it'll be fun to see people in real life. So if any of you are in the Chicagoland area, that'll be nice. And Jeff Gargis is coming in town. I haven't seen Jeff in person in a long time. So excited to see him. And thank you, Lori, for the comment earlier. I got my hair colored a little bit. And here's what I learned, Lori. I learned that I am not always the best at handling change that I don't have control over. But you know what? Teachable moment. That's all right. Yeah, I'm gonna get used to having darker hair for a period of time until I scrub it all out. So it's gonna be great.
Positive comments certainly go a long way, whether you're changing a hair color or changing a teaching practice. And when you're walking into classrooms as a school leader or as a colleague, you're always looking for the good. You're always looking for opportunities to encourage and connect. And same goes with the hair color, Ray. I mean, it's a change that you put out into the world, and you're inviting feedback on it, whether or not you want it or need it. And Lori's taking an opportunity to provide that feedback and encouragement. She loves it.
Exactly. Hey, if you guys have any feedback on maybe not preferring it, if you could save that for next week, I'd really appreciate it. I'm a little raw this week, so only positivity this week. But hey, next week, I will be open to any of your thoughts, and of course, hearing any of your ideas. So there you go. It'll be good.
I think
Brad,
it's
I
so
know we
cool
have.
that you're just. I think it's so cool, Ray, that you're just naming that you're a little bit raw this week. And I mean,
Yeah.
depending on what kind of a week any of us are having, or what kind of a day any of us have, we just have to. I guess we just kind of have to read the room when we're having interactions with people. We just have to make sure that we're meeting people where they are. I used to be very guilty, especially as a new school leader, of just really bringing high energy to every interaction that I encountered, and it was my first principle that reminded me you really just have to sit in the pocket and bring and match the energy and anticipate what people's needs are, but also the vulnerability to say, no, I'm a little bit raw right now, but just save that feedback for later. I love that, Ray.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it. Just, next week. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Brad, we have our moment of gratitude that we always take a moment to document and happy feed. Should we do that before we transition here?
Would love to. Would love to. Would you be willing to share your moment of gratitude for the record?
Yes, of course I would. Gosh, moment of gratitude for this morning. I have so many things that I would love to comment on. I'm going to read the hint to see if that inspires one way or the other. The hint of course it was. The hint this morning says, "What about that puppy you saw on your commute?" So, okay, if we're going to talk about dogs, I got it. Yesterday I had all the windows open and was able to work, with some great weather, and the dogs were very well behaved. I had Alfred, my youngest dog, but the big one that many of you have seen pictures of, literally spent, I think, 8 hours like snoozing on the porch, which I don't know why, but I love watching him soak up the sun and just live his best life. So I'm going with appreciation for great weather, which means happy dogs, if that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense. We saw the same in our backyard yesterday, Ray. Our dog Charlie loves to go out, and with the warm weather here in Ontario yesterday, some of the snow actually melted. You can see some grass kind of peeking through. So Charlie just likes to go out there. He just sits. He points his face to whatever direction the wind is coming from. You can see his little ears kind of flapping. We call it vibing. He just vibes in that sun, soaking up those sun's rays and soaking up those smells coming his way. He's happy and living his best life. Just contentment. It just is the picture of contentment for us. So I agree with you. And great. We're happy to see that, and that happiness can be shared. When you see other living things just living their best life.
It is something, obviously I want to encourage everybody in our community. I hope you are having the best life ever. I hope you are choosing to incorporate things that you love that bring you joy. But I will say there is something special about something you care about, whether it be a spouse, a child, a pet, whatever that is, something you care about, watching them happy, right? Like that might fill me up more than some other things that I choose to say, "Oh, I enjoy that. I should put that in my life." That is kind of an instant gratification right there. So find a way. I love that little challenge. Find a way this week to not only treat yourself, but find a way to treat yourself by serving others, or kind of like enjoying others' happiness. I think that's so good. Walk
So
around.
true. It's electric when you can find those opportunities. I love that challenge, Ray.
I love it. All right, let's head into some good news. And guys, there's holidays. All right, Brad, the biggest challenge of all every Friday, holidays first or article?
I think we've settled into a very happy and happy rhythm, full of contentment, Ray. And that is good news first, followed by the holidays. Because
I love
I
it.
know that makes you happy, friend. So to see you happy with that, it's electric. I feel energized and positive, just saying, yeah, good news first.
I wish I knew why that brought me so much happiness. That's not how we do it any other day of the week, but I'm just so excited that you bring the good news story for the week that I just can't wait. Don't make me wait.
And that's what it's all about. I'm not going to make you wait on it at all. And for the good news story, this is coming to us from goodnet.org, and we're going to go back to basics on this one, Ray. And it's actually a throwback good news piece back to 5 happy hacks that may bring happiness. So we started today talking about that reflection of gratitude, excitement, happiness, especially when we say friends, loved ones experiencing happiness. And this is a reminder for International Happiness Day, also March 17th. Um, sorry, March 20th marks the annual UN International Day of Happiness. And so this article offers 5 back to basics hacks that you may want to take stock of in your life to see if there are ways that you can boost your own happiness and well being. Right. The first one is food. The headline is Food is Mood. And so reflecting on what you're putting in is going to affect your energy, affect your state of mind. Movement, moving your body is key. Opening your heart, connecting with friends, expressing your feelings, giving yourself permission to be vulnerable, and honesty through those connections. Listening and receiving are essential. Listening to music, which I know is a huge one for you, Ray. Either putting on a happy song, whether it's pop, jazz, classical, let your brain do the rest. Let your brain just move on those vibes. And finally, watch the sunset, and that's what we call and what researchers call sort of a state of awe. Just being in the surroundings of huge, powerful natural moments and just observing the mystery and the wonder of them. So those are 5 happy hacks that may boost your happiness today, and might be an important opportunity to take stock of where you're at in your life and how you're feeding and serving yourself, and ultimately that'll benefit the kids and the adults that you serve too, Ray.
It's a great reminder. I love those. That's a lot that are very obtainable. And I like this comment too.
Mm-hmm.
Comment says, I like what Dave Schmittou has shared about happiness being a characteristic instead of something that we have to obtain. I really like that. That these are really good Friday morning reminders as we head into maybe exiting spring break, heading into spring break, or maybe your spring break isn't for like 4 weeks and you just need to get through March. I totally understand.
Something I love about this approach that's provided in the article, Ray, is that it's a process. It's not something that you win or lose or get right or wrong. And let's face it, we've all had moments where we wish things were different or better, and we can be awfully hard on ourselves in those moments. And we can, rather than asking, what's within my control to change, we ask, what's wrong with me? Why can't I? Or why haven't I? Or it can be really, really easy to shift into habits of negative self-talk. And so I guess that's an additional challenge I'd put out there. If I could add a sixth one to these 5 happy hacks is be aware of and monitor your self-talk. Had a fantastic conversation this week with Lisa Bayless, who's the author of Self-Compassion for Educators, and we know that monitoring your self-talk and making sure that what you're saying to yourself is, along the same lines of what you'd say to a good friend who's in pain or a good friend who needs reassurance. It's amazing how, if we pay attention to our self-talk, how often we are limiting and negative, and we're unkind to ourselves. And let's face it, who do we spend more time with than ourselves? And who do we listen to more than that little voice in our head? So that's my 6th hack, everybody, is monitor your self-talk and challenge your self-talk if it isn't kind, and if it isn't loving to yourself.
There's so many different things that we could refer to with that, but it's specifically a movie is coming to mind where they had a similar recommendation discussing that, sometimes we say things to ourselves with our self-talk that we would never, ever, ever think or communicate to somebody else or about somebody else, that we are so hard on ourselves, and don't even take the time to reflect and notice that we are doing it. So great reminders, Brad, this morning. I feel like we are trying to build up a good Friday of making sure everybody is checked and centered and ready for success.
Part of that is just making sure we know how and when to celebrate today. So we've got some holidays and celebrations coming up.
We do. There's a lot of holidays, but some of them are very weird, but I kind of think that we should embrace them as educators, as school teachers. I'm thinking like as I'm heading into my middle school today, this might be my favorite holiday of all time. The first one says it's officially Awkward Moments Day. I love
For me,
awkward
that's
moments.
every day. That's I just specialize in them. I
I
can seem to
know.
find them, and I seem to be in the middle of them all the time. So awkward moments day, definitely something to celebrate.
Awkward Moments Day. Yeah, today is the day to create and celebrate and giggle at some awkward moments. I just know as we teach, I mean, gosh, the awkward moments that exist in classrooms, regardless of what grade level you teach or how you engage with students. I love awkward moments. And I just felt like they were always in abundance in a middle school. So shout out to our middle schools, especially who will be enjoying awkward moments today. It's also Forgive Mom and Dad Day. So for those of you who might need to shell out some forgiveness to a parent or guardian, today might be the day to do that as well. Brad, any forgiveness that you need to dish out later this afternoon?
Uh, no, no forgiveness right now. But I'll keep it in mind.
Keep it in mind just in case. Maybe you need to communicate that to your children. I mean, for those of you who have children and they, need to forgive you for something. So today's
Exactly.
the day to do it. It's also Global Recycling Day. What a great day to be able to bring that into the conversation. It's also, Brad, I need to look further into this. I think this is my favorite holiday of all time, but I don't know anything about it. But every single year when this holiday is celebrated and I see it on social media, I am in awe. Today is a wonderful holiday called it's Holi. Holly? I don't know how.
Holy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's with all the colored dust everywhere. I know it's celebrated in so many different communities, but especially in the Indian culture, I am
Mm-hmm.
so excited to take some time today to learn about this holiday because every year I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to find friends to celebrate this holiday with.
I can't wait to learn more. And if anyone has any experiences, whether they're with awkward moments or celebrating Holi or any other special days today, pop them in the comments. And if you're on our Facebook group, share those photos of those colored celebrations. We want to see them and celebrate along with you.
Oh my God, please show the photos. That will bring me so much happiness if I can see photos. Just a little tidbit because I just love this opportunity to learn about other cultures celebrating holidays. And this one specifically is so fun to be able to consume the content. It says it's a festival of colors. It's always celebrated on March 18th. And it is a renowned holiday in the Hindu festivities. So for those of you that are a part of that faith, I'm excited for all of you to celebrate. If you don't identify with that faith, one opportunity to be able to celebrate colors with other people that are really taking part in this. There's so much history that you can read. It goes back to 30 AD, which would be really interesting to look at the history of this incredible holiday. And then obviously it goes into different ways to celebrate, one of which truly is to eat and celebrate color. So what could go wrong?
I think back to the happiness hacks, and it was really encouraging people to eat a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, and that among the most colorful aspects of what we grow and consume, Ray. So you could have a vegetable color smorgasbord to celebrate today.
Yes. And if anybody is doing the thing where they're like throwing the colored dust, I know that's not what it is, but if
Mhm.
any of you are doing that, please let me know. I will drive there and I will be there. I'm dying to participate. You know me, I'm like a neutral color wearer, but on this holiday, I think I got to learn more. I was so excited when I saw that this was in March a few weeks ago. Our team always looks forward to see what holidays we want to send specific notes out to our
Yeah.
community. And when I saw this one was listed, I was like, ooh, March is going to be a good one.
I wonder if the Teach Better team who are doing that in-person meetup in Chicago tonight are going to be easy to spot because they'll be covered in colored dust.
I know. I see that should have been a thing that we did. We're going to be in a hotel lobby in the city of Chicago. I think we need to move it outside and really celebrate. In addition to that, other things to celebrate. It's also National Oatmeal Cookie Day, Sloppy Joe Day, Supreme Significance Day. So there's a lot to celebrate for today. Definitely be aware that members of our community might be celebrating different things as they head into Friday, March 18th. Lots to embrace.
I wonder if an additional celebration to go along with Sloppy Joe Day today, Ray, might be National Stain Remover Appreciation Day.
That's tomorrow, Brad. That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh, perfect. Okay, got it.
Yes, absolutely. Sloppy Joes are quite messy. And you know what? So is throwing colors. I think tomorrow should just be National Make Sure You Shower Day because there's a lot going on today that could be messy and enjoyable.
Rinse everything off and start again day.
Exactly. I love it. Friends, we are going to head into our brainstorm bank. This is where we take an intentional moment to ask any of you if you need anything. While we transition here, please do us a favor. If you're watching live with us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or LinkedIn, we'd love to have you share this feed, maybe by documenting in the comments when you share, letting us know what a memorable moment has been so far of the show, maybe a major takeaway. But we always appreciate when you are able to share our live feed so we're able to reach more viewers and also highlight some of the major takeaways that you've enjoyed so far. So we'll be right back. Good morning. morning, everyone. Happy Friday. As many of you already know, we've had a theme this week here on our daily drop-in morning show, and it's been all about amplifying your voices, getting your voice out to speak at either a local, national, or worldwide conference. We love being able to recap the week. But first, Brad, I want to hear your thoughts on encouraging our community here to choose to take the time to submit to a conference and possibly speak as a presenter.
Rae, one of the first things that comes to mind is what we've already touched on a little bit was that, everyone has a story to share. And our guests this week have really reflected back how they've been changed, how their practice has been moved forward, but, and maybe even more importantly, how they've been changed as people as a result of this experience of sharing their story. It really is transformative. It doesn't have to be something that, sorry, I'm going to back up. It could be something that we think has to be an earth-shattering moment or discovery or innovation. Really, what people are looking for is people who are authentic and who are willing to share what's happened to them and make a connection in our education space between how we've moved kids' experiences forward in a positive way or how we've moved ourselves forward as educators in a positive way. And as I mentioned earlier in our show, the opportunity to connect with guests like ours this week, along with the course that you and Andrea developed, makes it not so much of a mystery and gives everyone the encouragement and the permission that they need to take their story and make sure they're sharing it out.
Yeah, I'm excited to recap this week. I feel like this week had incredible guests, which Lori agrees it looks like. But Brad, I do want to ask kind of a personal question. Have you presented at many conferences? I actually just talked to Jeff Gargis about this topic, and I have not gotten to discuss it with you, yourself. I just talked about you in this conversation.
Yeah, Rae, I haven't done any speaking since I was in teaching. When I was in teaching, I did do uh, workshops and presentations on information technology, integrating into elementary classrooms. I did presentations about French language as a French language teacher, but I haven't shifted yet, and I do say yet because I'm intentional about making that shift to sharing the good work and the wisdom of Teach Better Team in a speaking role, but also, I've got a number of, things that are near and dear to my heart, including school leadership, leading with love and compassion, shifting a focus from behaviorist practices to more compassionate, stress-based practices, seeking to uncover, the why behind the behavior that we see. But above all, I mean, I'm also open to being vulnerable about sharing my own personal journey through education and leadership, how I've been transformed, and looking forward to that opportunity sometime soon.
Yeah, I don't know if Jeff has talked to you or not, but we've had numerous conversations about the members of our team who have voiced being interested as speaking at events. Obviously, Megan and Andrea speak at conferences all the time. Katie, Amanda, Josh, and Brad, your name has come up so frequently as somebody that whether you want to or not, we got to get you out there speaking more to not only Teach Better community members, but anybody in education. So I'm excited for maybe you to take on that challenge within the next few months to say, hey, I'm ready to kind of share my voice maybe a little bit more than you are right now, and you are sharing your voice frequently already. I would love to see you out at a conference on a stage or presenting to a group. I just think you would be so engaging to listen to.
I appreciate that, and I have really enjoyed that opportunity, as I said a number of years ago. And remember, there's the thrill of being together with a group. There's a real opportunity, a real privilege that comes with being able to shape what you say and what you present, along with the feedback that you're getting from a group. Sometimes it's sort of a sage on the stage approach where you have a presentation and a keynote and slide, but also there's tremendous opportunity, as I mentioned earlier, for those less formal interactions where you're meeting over networking. This opportunity that you've provided, Rae, with the daily drop-in on Fridays, this is a public speaking moment for me, as is my podcast and blog. And all of these opportunities just mean that I'm, getting more and more comfortable, but I'm also being given more and more permission and opportunity to share it. And I'm being transformed by the feedback that I get from you and from guests and from opportunities too. So it's transformative personally as well as professionally.
I love that you're choosing to do all those things. I know for many of our community, they vocalized throughout the week that it's hard to step into those roles sometimes. And obviously, you do it through so many different mediums, but it's really important for us to choose to do that. And honestly, friends, this course that we put out on Wednesday with Andrea, I mean, it really was just sharing what our internal team does when we submit to present at conferences. When our internal team is saying, okay, let's encourage Brad Hughes to begin to present at conferences more frequently, our template of how we coach somebody in developing their topic and identifying their title and preparing their resources is literally what we put into the course. So it wasn't anything that was, I think, too awe-inspiring or transformative, but the mission and vision was to say, we've been able to see success and coach many people through this process of getting started and maintaining that development, and here's a way to get organized. And so I hope those of you that choose to take that free course over at teachbetteracademy.com really just see the opportunity here to make it less stressful by being organized and strategic. So I'm excited for all of you to hopefully dive in and let us know how we can support you.
Well, those kind of frameworks, Rae, are crucial when you move between sort of a spark of inspiration and someone's encouragement to get your voice out there to actually getting it there. One of the reasons we might be disinhibited from doing so is that we don't know where to start or how to start because the process seems so overwhelming. The other thing that can be challenging too is if you take a look at your, the speakers or the people in the education space that you really admire, you might think, how am I going to pull it off like that person? How am I going to live up to that? The truth is, there's the trick is to give yourself permission just to be who you are and to be authentic in what you have to present and provide. But that framework that you're describing, the step-by-step approach, is exactly what's needed to bridge that gap between that spark of inspiration and actually getting it happen.
Yeah, and it just kind of helps getting like bite-sized pieces to a big process. That's always what I love, is like, give me the small little steps so that the big step don't look too intimidating. So excited that those of you are some of you are excited in the comments. That'll be really fun. And Brad, I know that you spoke a lot as a classroom teacher. I'm excited for you to make that transition as a principal. Before we transition here into recapping our week, can you tell me if you had one tip or trick for somebody who is either applying or looking to present? What would you share with them?
I'd share that it's about the mindset, Rae, because when you're putting together a package and putting an application forward, it's a risk, and so you're risking being rejected or turned down or say no thanks. The trick is that the mindset that you have to begin with has to be about growth and improvement. So something you're striving towards and looking for every opportunity for feedback to continue to shape it. A no is also a not yet. And the great thing about many organizations, including Teach Better, is that the not yet is accompanied with, here are the things that you need to do to make your impact as well impactful as you can. So it's about mindset, just giving yourself permission to try and to learn through the process, and recognizing it may not be a one and done, it may be a process, but everyone has a story to share. And the beginning is so important, is beginning to get that story out there on any number of channels that make sense to you.
I will say, Brad, I'm part of a nonprofit that had a board meeting yesterday. One of the action items on the board meeting was to send an email to encourage somebody within that network to apply to their conference and apply to present at their event, which is happening in June. And I thought that was so nice that it wasn't only, hey, everyone, you should share your voice, but the power we have to encourage others as well. And I just want to add a little bit of context that the free course we keep referring to, which is just one of many supports I'm sure you can go get in how to begin speaking at educational conferences or events, is a completely free course that you could also share with somebody else, share with a colleague down the hall, or maybe just a family friend that is also in education, to say, hey, you may not have chosen to be a part of the Teach Better community on a consistent basis. You may not be somebody that has the membership to our Teach Better Academy, but this is completely free and it would be a great fit to support you. So, even just encouraging others to share their voice in addition to hopefully empowering yourself to do so is a powerful opportunity we have here.
Great suggestion. Great suggestion, Rae. And in the comments there, I just put a link to those Teach Better free courses, including the one we're describing that Andrea and Rae authored. So get out there and check them out.
So cool. We do have other courses coming out this month as a bonus, which I can't share too much about, but it does have to do with a book we love and care for. I'll enjoy. So I'm excited for that later this month. And then of course, Brad Hughes being featured in his first course in the Academy next month will be so stinking fun. Brad, I think it's time to play our favorite ditty and recap the week and also preview what next week is all about. You ready?
Ready.
Here we go. I say it every week, but friends, that is my favorite little ditty. I need to record it or like download it from StreamYard and listen to it in my mornings. I just think that boost builds you up, you know?
It could be a ringtone. It could be a notification sound. It could be the sound that your computer or laptop makes when it comes on. It could be something that you put on loop in the background.
I do have to say, Brad, you know how we can choose our ringtones on our phones?
Yeah.
I really wish, because recently with the Apple update, you can now have an image and the way that you want your name written, and you can push it out to other phones. It prompts you. And Jeff Gargas have referenced the picture I chose was a green heart emoji, which by the way, all of you could do because you just have to use your keypad. And then obviously I have my full name. I really wish you could also push out the ringtone you want it to sound when you call. Because could you imagine if when Rae Hughart called you, it was that music with the green heart? That would be like the best. That would be the coolest thing. That would bring me so much joy.
I don't know if I'd be able to pick up the phone. I'd be so excited. I'd drop the phone. I'd be on the floor. Anyway, eventually I'd pick up the phone and say, wow, you just made my day.
Well, I'd have to call everybody twice because the first time you'd be jamming out and you'd be like, oh, I missed the phone call though. I didn't answer. So good. To recap this week, friends, we had a lot of great conversation. We encourage you always, in case you missed an episode, everything is obviously saved on the platforms that we stream to live every morning. So if you head to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or LinkedIn, and you follow the Teach Better team there, we really appreciate that. By choosing to subscribe and follow on those platforms, you not only are able to continue to consume Teach Better content, but we also, again, are able to reach more educators that exist in our incredible world. So if you anytime if you head there, you'll be able to see the stream, but also a very easy way to get access to past episodes is to, of course, go to Teach Better Talk podcast. Brad, of course, Monday started with the one and only Jeff Gargas joining us. So we had some good dialogue there, getting started with discussing the importance of educators sharing their voice. And then, of course, on Tuesday, Todd Stanley joined us and talked about an energetic gentleman.
Incredible conversation, and Todd, wonderful addition to the Teach Better family, and just exemplifies what it means to put yourself out there. I loved your conversation with him. What are one or two of your key takeaways from your conversation with Todd there, Rae?
Todd had a lot to take away. What I really enjoyed is he was actually on a student trip. He was streaming from a hotel room with, I think he said like 24 kids that he was on a field trip with. So that's so fun. But Todd not only has published over 20 books, but he's an educator in practice. And I really loved that he was able to share about his experience speaking internationally, speaking all over to strive to impact educators. And so he had a lot of ideas, tactical takeaways, action steps that I think all of us can choose to get involved with. So I loved that episode. I've been thinking about it all week.
I'm good listening to it.
On Wednesday, we had Andrea join us because Andrea obviously was able to publish her course on Wednesday in the Academy. She does so much hard work, but I loved having her live talking about her course because she not only was able to share all the passion that came with that course creation, but there's so many strategies from the course that she was able to share with us live. So even if you're not sure about heading to the Academy, you actually were able to get a lot of action steps and strategies from her on Wednesday's show. So definitely go celebrate with Andrea on the Wednesday show. For Thursday, we had Jennifer Abrams joining us. And to me, that was a little bit of a bucket list. Jennifer is somebody that I've followed for a long time. She brought the energy that we love to see on Daily Drop-In bright and early. She was streaming from the West Coast, but she gave us her all. And she has a lot of experience encouraging, coaching, and presenting with and supporting educators. So I would definitely go check out Jennifer's episode. I don't know what day I recommend more. I think Monday with Jeff, if that's like my lowest one, because the other three were so good, and obviously we're alive here. So I have nothing but great things to recommend about this week's episodes.
Oh, as Lori said, the guests were fire this week, and it's what it's all about is trying to bring energy, ideas, and connections to everybody that takes the opportunity to tune in live or tune in later on the Teach Better Talk podcast. Ray, it's trying to add a little bit of value, and what incredible value was added when you think of the ripple effects. Maybe someone walked away from one of these episodes this week with with a determination to share their story. And if that's the case, then job well done.
So fun. For next week is going to be a very special week for all of us. And as a reminder, it is not only a special week internally for the Teach Better team, but a very special week for everyone within the Teach Better community. Our theme next week truly is that we're having a birthday bash. We are choosing to take next week to just bring celebration and happiness, and maybe some reminiscing, some funny OG stories. We're so excited to just celebrate the Teach Better team turning 7 years old. And while we definitely want to give a special shout out to Jeff Gargas and Chad Ostrowski that founded what is now known as the Teach Better team 7 years ago, we want to give a special shout out to every single member of our Teach Better community that allows our Teach Better team to thrive and continue to exist to support education. So next week, all about the birthday bash. We are starting Monday morning, obviously, with Jeff joining us every single morning. And then we'll continue by having Robert Knowles join us on Tuesday, which will be such a wonderful conversation. Wednesday, we have Jake Miller with us. I love Jake Miller. I have not been able to catch up with him, I think, since the Teach Better conference in 2019. But talk about a tech-friendly, wonderful educator. Thursday is the big day. Thursday is the Teach Better team birthday, the official 7th birthday. There'll be a lot going on, not only that week, but that day specifically. But on Daily Drop-In, we'll have Chad Ostrowski and Jeff Gargas live with us, including myself, bringing in the owners of the Teach Better team to celebrate Daily Drop-In. And then, Brad, we're together Friday.
It sounds like a week to remember. And I'm really glad that we can put the icing on the cake on Friday, Ray, just to wrap up the week.
We'll officially be 7 years old when we go live. So we'll be, bringing in like the knowledge of turning a year older. I like it.
We will have the knowledge, experience, and the shenanigans that everyone needs on a Friday morning.
So exciting. We appreciate all of you that choose to celebrate the birthday with us. We really do consider the Teach Better birthday a birthday for all. And so we hope you choose to participate in not only all the activities that we have planned for that day, but the prep that we have planned as well. You can see all those details at teachbetter.com/happy birthday and ensure that we get all the celebration out. We have a lot of surprises headed your way. So we're very excited for that. Brad, any final words for our community as we head into Friday morning?
Just a moment of gratitude to you, Rae Hughart, and to everybody in the community for making our day brighter. It really is a privilege and a pleasure to connect with everyone on Friday mornings and each and every day here on Daily Drop-In. Just wishing everyone a wonderful weekend ahead. Encourage you to check out those happiness hacks and remember to monitor your self-talk. Ray and I want to wish you and Teach Better friends a great and a very happy in-person reunion in Chicago tonight.
Thank you. Yes, we always love opportunities to see our friends in person. If you're ever with, by the way, a member of our Teach Better community, ever in person, take a photo and share it out. Tag us. We want to celebrate that. We have Teach Better family members that engage with one another all the time on a very frequent basis. But today, hopefully, will be nice to see a few people in person very safely practicing very safe practices to be able to kind of enjoy being together again. So we hope to encourage all of you to be with us at the Teach Better conference, another opportunity for us to be in person all together. So Brad, thank you so much for coming live with me. I always love our Fridays together, and appreciate you waking up bright and early before your big day to go support your incredible school building. But friends, we hope you have an incredible Friday as well. Please let Brad and I know if we can help you in any way, shape, or form. And we'll see you later. Bye, guys.